Good morning. Hi, it is attorney Ashley Goggins at Ashley Goggins Law, and it is day 2 of the 12 days of free game. I am going to be giving you tips and steps to navigate a family law case. So today is day 2. We're going to go ahead and take some time to share this out. If you are watching the replay, let me know. If this information is helpful to you, let me know. So I'm going to share this out, and we are going to get started. I have court this morning. Actually, I have court all day long, so I will be here early, as you guys can see, so that I can make sure that I give you this information. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share this out on my page, and we are going to get started. If you know anyone that this information could be helpful to, please go ahead and share this out. Just click the share button, the like button. I really appreciate it. Thank you in advance. Okay, so I'm going to share it out. Okay, it is shared. So today we are going to be talking about hiring an attorney. Okay, so after you've consulted with an attorney, you can make a informed decision about how to move forward. If you make that informed decision that you do need to retain counsel, you retain counsel. So in terms of retaining counsel, I want to discuss 3 things today. We want to discuss contract, communication, and cost. Okay? Contract, communication, and cost. Those are the 3 things that you need to be concerned about once you have retained a lawyer or right before you retain a lawyer. So you want to review the contract. This is the agreement between you and the attorney that outlines the nature of your relationship, how things will get paid, deadlines that you need to abide by, what the contract will cover, what the attorney will go to court for, what the attorney will bill for, okay? What will be included in your retainer fee, any type of trial retainers, any type of provisions that outlines the nature, the processes and procedures that the attorney wants you to abide by is the contract. Basically, some people call it a retainer agreement, some people call it an engagement agreement. At the end of the day, it's a contract between you and the attorney that outlines the processes and procedures and the nature of your relationship, okay? So you want to make sure you read and review that. That's important. The attorney signs it, you guys have a binding agreement. That's the retaining agreement. That gives the attorney permission to represent you, okay? So once that's completed, attorney can file their notice of appearance in your case, and they are acting on your behalf. That is the retainer agreement. The second thing is communication. How will your attorney communicate with you? This is important because based on the state of Florida, one of the number 1 reasons why clients complain is based on communication. So how will the attorney communicate with you? Will they communicate with you, within a week of you calling? Will they communicate with you within 48 hours of you calling? Like, what is the standard procedure of communication, or how is the method of communication? Is it phone call? Does the attorney allow text messages? Is it email? Does the office have a portal? How often is the portal checked? Those are some of the things that you want to discuss with the attorney. How is communication? Because you pay your money, you want to know, am I going to receive updates? Am I going to be notified? How will I be notified? Sometimes that is in their retaining agreement. Sometimes it's a separate communication policy. But you want to make sure you know moving forward how you will be communicating with the attorney. And that takes me to the third and last thing, which is cost. Okay, most attorneys are going to bill hourly, and there's something called a retainer fee or an engagement fee. So you pay a set price. For example, if you make a retaining fee or a retainer fee of $3,500 and the attorney bills by the hour, let's say, for example, $300 an hour. When the attorney does 1 hour of work, the attorney is going to deduct that from the retainer agreement that you paid, okay? So you prepay for services, and any services that are performed are billed against the retainer. So if you have $3,500 in your account and the attorney does an hour of work, you now have $3,200. If the attorney does a half hour of work, which is $150, then they're going to deduct and deduct and deduct. You need to know how billing works, okay? Because if you are communicating, calling, you're going to be getting bill. So you need to understand how billing works if you are concerned about the cost. Generally, there are some attorneys that charge flat fees. So they don't bill by the hour. They bill you one cost. They may say, hey, it's $10,000 or it's $5,000 flat fee. That's it. No matter how long the case takes, this is the cost that you'll pay. Some attorneys bill in increments because with a family law case, sometimes you never know how long the case is going to take. You never know how the parties are going to act, because emotions do play a part in it. Emotions can make your case go out longer, and it may not be on your behalf, but it could be on the opposing party's behalf. The county that you're in, some counties take more time than other counties. Some counties are more efficient and faster than other counties. Also, the opposing party, if they have an attorney, I'm just going to be honest, sometimes attorneys drag out cases. Sometimes attorneys are not as efficient. There are also timing. There are also deadlines. These judges, some counties don't have a lot of judges, and they have to deal with all of the family law cases in that circuit, or they have magistrates that help them out. But it really just depends on a combination of things of how long it's going to take. So generally, if an attorney is billing by the hour, they can't really give you an estimate. They probably can tell you, in your case, this is how much, or generally how much it would cost if X, Y, and Z. But it's generally no way to tell, because some parties can come to an agreement. If the parties come to an agreement quickly, then that's it. It's done. Your one retainer would take care of the case. Outside of court costs, you need to know what the court costs are. Our court costs are about $400 or $425 for a filing fee in a divorce in Duval County. Our paternity actions are $316. Guardianship, our adoptions are about $400 plus. So these are things that you want to know. Is that included in your retainer agreement, or is it not included? Generally, it's not included. Any outside cost to third parties is not included. Then you also have mediation fees. So mediation fees are outside fees, and those are paid directly to a mediator. That means that this third party is charging, generally it's an attorney, and they charge by the hour. They can charge anywhere from $175 an hour, $225 an hour, $300, all the way up to $350 an hour per hour, but the costs are split between both parties. So if you're there for 2 hours, and that's generally the minimum, if you're there for 2 hours, then the one party has to pay $300, the other party has to pay $300, and that's the mediation cost. If you're there 6 hours, then you guys are going to split the total cost for mediation, and that is an outside cost. You also could have social investigation costs. These are like child custody evaluations and things like that we're going to talk about later on this week, but those are outside costs that you guys have to pay. They can be split between the parties. One party could cover it up front, and the other party at the end of the investigation may have to pay. Sometimes if the parties cannot agree on how it is done, then it would be left up to the judge. I talked about court costs. I talked about evaluation costs. I talked about mediation costs. There are process server fees, private investigator fees. There could be financial planners, CPA fees. Oh, it can be any outside third-party vendor. These are the fees. Generally, your attorney is going to tell you prior to. Also important, court reporter fees. Court reporter fees are very important. Generally, they bill by the hour as well. So these are the things that you want to discuss, or at least have a brief overview or knowledge of. And generally, that stuff could be in your retainer agreement. So you want to make sure you look at the contract. You want to discuss communication and expectations with the attorney, and you want to talk about cost and fee structure. Okay? So that is my tidbit for today. Tomorrow, we are going to be discussing filing the petition, getting started with the case. And we will run through each step of the case through the next 10, 11 days. And I will see you back here tomorrow. You guys have a happy holidays. And don't forget to share this out. And I hope to see you again on the next one.